did a large hail study, rather large condo complex in Central Florida. Big hailstorm, and this was just a few years ago. So get to the building. Everything's there's a condenser farm. All the AC units are on the roof. This is a high-rise building. It's about 20 stories high, and there's absolutely no coil damage, no polish marks anywhere. There's just rather large dents on the fan covers, so large that they've actually broken the fan covers, and the inside of the coils were dented heavily. But there was no other indicators whatsoever. It looked like someone had taken a rather large hammer and just smashed the very tops of each of these units. We're talking over 100 units, almost the same dents over and over. And I was convinced while I was on the roof, more or less, that this was vandalism or someone did this on purpose. Until I got back down onto the ground, and next door to this building is some single-story condos with PVC fences. And I was talking to a gentleman outside, asking him about the storm, if the storm had happened, and he said, "Oh yeah, these hailstones were the size of a softball." And I said, "Well, there's no indicators of this anywhere except for the very tops of these units." And then I started to look at his fence, and the top of his fence was destroyed. And how he explained to me, these stones were so big they came completely straight down, which you don't see that very often. Usually the wind's blowing really hard and the hail comes from an angle. This hail came straight down. That's why it left no polish marks. In the indicators that I'm looking for on a typical basis, there's none of those, because this hail came straight down and just did tremendous damage to the tops of these equipment. It's the first time I'd really seen something just like that. So if I wouldn't have seen the fence and talked to the neighbor, I would have thought this was a fraudulent claim. So